Okay, guys, a little review on trigonometry. We're going to use SOHCAHTOA here to find the side of a right triangle, and then on number 3 here, it's finding the angle of a right triangle. So the first thing that we've done before, we circle the reference angle, which is the angle that's given to us that's not the 90 degrees. Okay, so the 20 degrees. I do an arrow and point it to the opposite. This is opposite. Since this is across from the 90 degrees, this is the hypotenuse. Now, Khan Academy uses a question mark here, but it could be the same as using an X. You can use any variable, I don't care, but just make sure that you get your two parts of your triangle that you have for SOHCAHTOA. Since I have opposite and hypotenuse, I'm going to use sine. If I look up there, so it's going to be sine of my reference angle. Those two always go together. Sine of 20 equals, since this says opposite over hypotenuse, I'm going to take the O over H, so it would be 3 over X. Then I can put sine 20 over 1, and then I can cross multiply. So I can go this way and this way. So I'd have 1 times 3, which is 3. X times sine 20, which is X sine 20. Sine 20 is one number. Okay, so picture that like 3 equals X times 20. So to get rid of the 20 or send it to the other side, the inverse would be dividing. And so what I'm going to do, since this is one number, just like it would be 20, there's just a sign in front of it. Okay, since that's being multiplied, I'm going to have to divide both sides by sine 20. Okay, so then I just get X by itself on the right side. Now on Khan Academy, it might look a little different than what you're used to for your calculator. So you can, it's the same thing here. So I need 3 divided by the sine of 20. So I'm going to go back. I can still go 3 divided by sine 20. Just make sure you close your parenthesis here. Boom. So it's 8.77. It's to the nearest hundredth, which should be 2 decimal points. Tenths, hundredths. So you're looking to the third number to the right of the decimal to see if it bumps it up. Since it's 8.771, that 7 is going to stay the same. So this would be X equals 8.771. But since that 1 is there, it's going to say 8 equals 8.77. And that's your answer. Okay. For the second one, you could pause this if you want to see if you can do this on your own. But I'm going to circle this. Boom. This is opposite. This is the hypotenuse because it's opposite of the 90, which makes that the adjacent. Okay. So O and A would be my tangent feature. So I'm going to go tangent of my reference angle, 40, equals X over 6, cross multiply, X equals 6, tangent of 40, going back to my calculator, 6 tangent 40, so if I go back to this, 6 tangent of 40, make sure you close the parenthesis. 6 tangent 4D. Well, let's go back. Maybe I have to hit the multiplication. 6 times tangent 40. Tangent 40. There we go. So you have to actually put that multiplication sign in there too. So 5.03. The 4 keeps the 3 the same, so it would be 5.03 for my answer. Okay, and it's still the hundredth. The last one here, this is for solving for an angle. Solve for an angle. This is a separate Khan Academy, so both of these are separate here. Boom. This is one, solve for a side. The one on the right is solve for an angle. Same thing here. A lot of times in class, we use the theta Greek symbol. A lot of times is used to find the used to represent a degree measure. a lot of times that Greek letter is just used for degrees. So anyway, it's used for a variable. Picture it as x, y, whatever. You're still solving for it. So this is my reference angle. I can still do the arrow. Opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. Okay. A and H would now use the cosine. So I have cosine of theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse, 4/7. Okay. Now I can't just divide by cosine, but I want to get the theta by itself. So technically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to multiply both sides by what's called the inverse cosine. Okay, just like if I had 8 equals 3x, I would do the inverse, which is division, to divide. Okay, but I can't just divide. So to cancel out or to take the cosine to the other side, I have to use what's called the inverse cosine. So if I multiply both sides by cosine -1, so I have cosine -1 of the 4/7. Okay, so my theta would equal, theta equals, put the equal sign in the wrong spot, the inverse cosine of 4/7. Now to do that in the calculator, I'm going to hit cosine -1, inverse cosine of 4/7, 4/7, and then I'm going to close the parenthesis. Make sure you close it. 55.15 equals theta equals, it's still 100th, 55.15 degrees would be for that. I hope this helps.